The film begins with a dramatic chase. A blood-soaked Englishman sprints through an expansive field, clutching an axe while glancing over his shoulder in terror. Before he can escape, his pursuer materializes in front of him, ending his life in a swift, brutal attack. The scene transitions to a campsite near England's eastern borders during the 12th century, a time when the country is reeling from the Crusades. Here, a group of 5 Templar knights, led by Marshal Thomas, arrives at the camp. They are welcomed by the head priest, Joseph, who had urgently summoned Thomas from the battlefront. However, Joseph is shocked to see a woman among the knights. He argues that the battlefield is no place for women, but Thomas defends her, asserting that she is as skilled as any man. Joseph then pulls Thomas aside to discuss the pressing reason for his summons. The priest reveals that England has been plagued by a malevolent demonic entity, and the Templars have been tasked with hunting it. To assist in this mission, the Archbishop has enlisted the help of an Islamic scholar from Jerusalem named Sid, who has encountered the creature before. When Joseph introduces Thomas to Sid, the Templar's reaction is one of outrage. He refuses to accept aid from a Muslim, citing the centuries of conflict between their peoples. Joseph, however, explains that Sid's first-hand experience with the demon makes his insights invaluable. Reluctantly, Thomas agrees to work with him. Thomas' group, which includes the female knight Kayla, along with Godfrey, Joe, and Richard, reluctantly accepts Sid into their ranks. Together, they set out for a nearby forest where the demon was last spotted. Along the way, Richard questions Sid about the creature. Sid explains that he first encountered the demon in Jerusalem, where all attempts to defeat it ended in failure. The demon only left the city after satisfying its hunger, moving on to England. However, Sid admits he still doesn't know how to kill it. Undeterred, the group ventures deeper into the forest, following drag marks on the ground left by the demon as it hauled its victims. Where the trail splits into 2, Thomas divides the group. Kayla, Godfrey, and Sid take one path, while he and the others follow the second. They agree to reconvene by nightfall. As Thomas' group proceeds, they discover a horrifying scene: the mutilated bodies of 3 Christian knights hanging from a tree. Meanwhile, Kayla's group encounters an unsettling development. The drag marks abruptly disappear, leaving no further trace of the demon. Sid notices unnatural movements in the trees above and realizes the tracks were a trap to lure them in. Sensing danger, the trio draws their weapons, but the demon strikes with overwhelming force. It suddenly emerges and impales Godfrey with its claw-like appendages. In a panic, Sid calls for help, his cries reaching Thomas and his team. Before they can arrive, the demon vanishes into the forest. Ignoring Sid's warnings, Kayla takes off after the creature. When Thomas and the others finally reach the scene, they find Godfrey's lifeless body. Sid informs them about Kayla's pursuit, and they immediately rush to follow her. Tragically, they hear her screams piercing the air before they can catch up. When they finally locate her, the beast had already killed her, leaving the men in stunned silence as they find Kayla's decapitated body on the forest floor. Sid grimly explains that the demon takes its victims' heads as trophies. Despite the grim discovery, the group splits up again to pursue the creature. Joe and Richard head back toward Godfrey's body, suspecting the demon will return to claim its prize, while Sid and Thomas delve deeper into the woods. However, the plan quickly falls apart. As Richard rushes to Godfrey's location, he triggers one of the demon's traps. A high-tech net springs out, slamming into his face and leaving him writhing in pain. Joe moves to help, but the demon emerges from the shadows. Though terrified, Joe stands his ground, wielding his sword in a desperate attempt to fight. Meanwhile, Richard fires an arrow into the demon's back, but the monstrous creature shrugs it off. Armed with advanced weaponry, the demon counters with brutal efficiency, using a laser-guided weapon to obliterate Richard's skull. Joe's valiant efforts are short-lived as the demon slices into his abdomen, leaving him fatally wounded. The forest floor is soon drenched in blood. Hearing the commotion, Sid and Thomas race to the scene, only to find the mangled remains of their comrades. Thomas is overcome with rage at the loss of his men, while Sid is paralyzed with fear. Shaken, Sid urges Thomas to retreat while they still have a chance, but Thomas refuses, determined to confront the beast. Unable to match Thomas' resolve, Sid flees, hoping to escape the forest alive. As night falls, Thomas prepares for a final showdown. With nothing left to lose, he lights a torch and begins pounding his shield, the echoes cutting through the darkness to draw out the demon. Elsewhere, Sid, still running for his life, hears the noise. The demon, using its heat-seeking vision, soon locates Thomas and roars in anticipation of the duel. What follows is a brutal battle. Thomas fights valiantly, landing several blows, but the creature's overwhelming strength and advanced technology leave him outmatched. The demon shatters Thomas's sword and grabs him by the throat, ready to deliver the killing blow. At that critical moment, Sid reappears, sneaking up behind the demon and pressing his blade to its neck. He offers a bargain, If the demon spares Thomas's life, he will spare the demons. To their astonishment, the creature acknowledges its defeat and relents. Releasing Thomas, the demon retreats, though not before claiming Thomas's helmet as a trophy. The two men watch in awe as the demon boards an alien spacecraft, revealing its true nature, a member of a predator species that uses Earth as a hunting ground. As the ship ascends into the night sky, Thomas turns to Sid, thanking him for saving his life. Sid responds with a simple explanation. Returning was a matter of honor. As the credits roll, the truth of their encounter remains a mystery to the world, leaving Thomas and Sid forever changed by their brush with the alien hunter. Grieving the devastating loss of her son, Jenna Dayton struggles to move forward. Desperate for solace, she turns to an elderly man known for crafting supernatural dolls. These dolls, he claims, can come to life and serve as surrogate children for bereaved parents. To create the doll, the man requests a set of unwashed clothes worn by Jenna's son, a lock of his hair, and a cherished possession. When Jenna offers Max a baseball glove, the old man assures her it will suffice as long as her son valued it deeply. Jenna hesitates, questioning if this process could truly work. The old man reassures her, stating no client has ever sought a refund. However, Max's father, Aiden Dayton, overhears the conversation and voices his skepticism, dismissing the entire idea as a scam. Despite his objections, Jenna remains resolute. A few days later, the doll is ready. Though it looks nothing like Max, the old man insists Jenna hold it to experience its magic. Nervously, Jenna reaches out only for the doll to grip her arm with a real human hand. To Aiden's shock, the doll transforms into a living version of their son. Alarmed, Aiden pleads with Jenna to reconsider, but she is unwavering. She pays the man a hefty sum and keeps the doll. The old man provides strict instructions for the doll's use, explaining that its lifelike qualities only function within the house. Stepping outside will revert it to a lifeless toy. He warns them to limit their time with the doll to 1 hour daily. Exceeding this limit could distort their sense of reality, blurring the line between what's real and what's not. Initially, Jenna abides by these rules, but as months pass, her grief overpowers her and she disregards every guideline. She spends endless hours with the doll, treating it as her son, neglecting her home and health. The house becomes cluttered with trash and dishes as Jenna's grip on reality disintegrates. One morning, Aiden, overwhelmed with frustration and sadness, begs Jenna to see the truth. He reminds her that their son is gone and that the doll has driven a wedge between them. Still, Jenna refuses, continuing to care for the doll as though it were alive. Desperate, Aiden grabs her hand and pulls her toward the door, determined to bring her back to reality. But as they cross the threshold, a chilling revelation unfolds. Aiden isn't holding Jenna's hand. He's clutching the magical doll. Jenna had passed away weeks earlier, her obsession with the doll leading her to lose her grip on reality and eventually her life. Unable to bear the truth, she succumbed to her despair after Aiden locked the doll away. Grief-stricken and unable to cope, Aiden returns to the doll maker with Jenna's clothes, a treasured possession, and a lock of her hair. Days later, he brings home a magical doll in her likeness. Like his late wife, Aiden ignores the rules, eventually losing himself in the illusion, forgetting Jenna is truly gone. Subscribe for more chilling stories and don't forget to like and turn on notifications to support the channel. Thank you for watching.